Hello everyone, welcome back to today's session. And today we will start with alphabet B in this study. To all those who are joining new, we are doing a study of Allen's Keynote, and it's day 3. So we have already completed abrotanum and acetic acid, and today the third medicine which we are going to study is Baptisia Tinctoria. Hello Rosina. So yeah, let's wait for a few more minutes and then we'll start. So Baptisia Tinctoria, Allen's Keynote, page number 55. I hope you have your copy of Allen's Keynote with you. Okay, so Baptisia Tinctoria. So what all things we should know, like the common name Baptisia, the common name is wild indigo. The prover is W.L. Thompson. The prover is not written or not given in Allen's Keynote. You can write it down. W.L. Thompson is the prover, and it belongs to family Leguminosa, and the parts used is bark of fresh root. This is important. This MCQ come directly. The part use of Baptisia tinctoria, or which medicine is prepared from bark of fresh root. The answer is Baptisia. So this you should remember. Then it belongs to class 3 for pharmacy, and drug power is 1/6. So this much information is basic, we all should know. So Baptisia wild indigo, proved by W.L. Thompson, Leguminosa family, prepared from bark of fresh root, class 3, drug power 1/6. So first line goes this way: for the lymphatic temperament. So what is this lymphatic temperament? So we have read this many times in different materia medica. Different authors have given it temperament, diathesis, constitution. So we all should know the basic difference between all this. So what is temperament, what is constitution, what is diathesis? So if you have Success with you, this book Success first volume, there is one table given. Yesterday I have asked you to read this analog from Success. It will be very helpful for you all because directly many MCQs come from this section. Another important thing which you should read and remember is this different constitution and different diathesis, which is given in Success itself on page number 65. So it shows different constitution, different diathesis and different temperaments. Okay, so questions are usually asked directly from this. So lymphatic constitution, which are the medicines which have lymphatic constitution, hydrogenite constitution, so all this. So in Baptisia, two things are important. First is the line given is lymphatic temperament. So do not get confused between lymphatic temperament and lymphatic constitution, because both things are given in Allen's Keynote, and MCQ is also can be asked from any of this. So you should know when they are asking you about temperament and when they are asking you about constitution. So if lymphatic temperament they are asking, the two medicines given are Baptisia tinctoria and Thuja occidentalis, two medicine for lymphatic temperament, and for lymphatic constitution, Agnus castus, Asterius rubens, and Hepar. These three medicines are given. Now, any one of you, if listening carefully, should get this question in their mind, that what is then difference between temperament and constitution. So, before you all ask, let me answer this. What is temperament and what is constitution? So, temperament, to what you call in Hindi, is mizaj. Okay, mizaj, what we call in Urdu. So, when patient is having a lymphatic temperament, that means the lymphatic system in the body. Hi, hello, Dr. Ranjit. So, lymphatic temperament, if patient is having lymphatic temperament, that means the lymphatic system is predominant in his body. And if lymphatic system is predominant, what will be the effect will be the patient will lack energy. So there will be lacking of energy, patient will be very inactive, and he will be indisposed to any sort of exertion, any sort of excitement. The patient ऐसा जो होता है एकदम weak होता है, the patient who is very weak, who feels like all the time very tired, doesn't want to mix, doesn't want to do any exertion, has no excitement for life. So when you see such person, he or she is having lymphatic temperament. Okay, so it is basically a predominance of lymphatic system in his body. Okay, and what is constitution then? Constitution will be as a whole. So as a whole means there will be disturbance in lymphatic constitution, there will be disturbance of lymphatic system. Okay, in temperament there will be predominance of lymphatic system, in constitution there will be disturbance of lymphatic system. So not only lymphatic system, along with it skin, mucous membrane, and even nervous system gets affected. Okay, so patient gets easily susceptible to many kind of infections. So susceptibility, or what we call in common language, the immunity of the person is low, and that is when we can call patient is having lymphatic constitution. Okay, so the medicines which are having lymphatic constitution are Agnus castus and Asterius rubens and Hepar. So lymphatic constitution. And for our point, our medicine for now, Baptisia is having lymphatic temperament. Okay, so that was explanation for the first line. Okay, so next is, as I have already told you, if you understand this only word lymphatic temperament, you will understand the whole picture of Baptisia. If the person is having predominance of lymphatic system, then he will be inactive, lethargic, tired. So all such thing will be present throughout the picture of Baptisia. So what is next is great prostration with disposition to decomposition of fluids as in pyrogen, ulceration of mucous membranes. All exhalations and discharges are fetid, especially in typhoid or other acute diseases. So Baptisia, usually we think that it is useful, or it has cure, or it can cure many cases of typhoid. So it is usually indicated in typhoid fever. So in typhoid fever, all the discharges of the body are very fetid and very offensive. So other acute, the breath, there will be halitosis, the breath of the patient will be very much offensive, stool, urine, perspiration, even the discharge from the ulcer will be very offensive. So remember offensiveness or fetidness with Baptisia. Also in sorinum and pyrogenum. Aversion to mental exertion. As I told you already, mental activity is not desired by patient with lymphatic temperament. So there is aversion to mental exertion, indisposed or want of power to think. Want of power to think means he is unable to think. Perfect indifference, don't care to do anything, inability to fix the mind on work, because he is not able to do so. He is unable to do any kind of mental activity, and so there is perfect indifference. Indifference means he is not at all involved, or he doesn't care. Stupor, this is important, this is direct MCQ, do remember this very well. And also remember the comparison which we will be discussing. Stupor, falls asleep while being spoken to or in the midst of the answer. Midst of the answer means when he is answering, at the mid of the answer he will sleep. Okay, so falls asleep. Who? Baptisia. Baptisia will sleep while being spoken or in the mid of the answer, while the Arnica patient will sleep when spoken to answer correctly, but delirium returns at once. So Arnica will answer the question very correctly, and then afterward the stupor returns. But in Baptisia, in the mid of the answer, he will sleep. So this is the basic difference, and this is direct MCQ. To remember this, also remember the differentiation with Arnica. Now another important thing is tongue. Tongue at first coated white with red papillae, dry and yellow brown in center. It is very dry. The tongue is dry, yellow brown in center, but later it becomes dry, cracked and ulcerated. So how it is first and then how it changes, you should remember. First it is white with red papillae, then dry and yellow brown in center, and later it is dry, cracked and ulcerated. Face is flushed, dusky, dark red with a stupid, besotted, drunken expression. Bracket gelsemium. So you can think of a person who is having very high grade fever. How is the look of that person? The face is red and he will be very weak, and sometimes when there is a stupor, delirium, person can be feel as if he is drunken. So same picture will be in Baptisia. So face is flushed is very red, dusky, dark red with a stupid, besotted and drunken expression. This is also important, can swallow liquid only. This compare with Baraita carb. Least solid food gags. Gags means it gets choked. Least solid food gags. Okay, in bracket this is important. Can swallow liquid only but has aversion to them is Silesia. So can swallow liquid only. If this is the question, answer is Baptisia. Can swallow liquid only but has aversion to them is Silesia. So this is the difference between these two. Now painless sore throat. This is also important. Painless sore throat. Tonsils, soft palate and parotid dark red, swollen, putrid and offensive discharge. So all discharges are offensive, also in diphtheria. Now dysentery of old people and diarrhea of children. This is also important, mark this line. This is also direct MCQ, that dysentery of old people and diarrhea of children. What is difference between dysentery and diarrhea? Can anyone say? How is diarrhea and dysentery different from each other? To make it easier, what happens in diarrhea and what happens in dysentery? Okay, anyone else? No one. What is diarrhea? You should know. Diarrhea is very common. If you know what is diarrhea, remembering dysentery is easy. No one. You people are even listening or not? Okay, so this is very basic. We all should know this. Yeah, right. Watery stool is diarrhea, right? Correct. Then how it is different from dysentery? Dysentery is different from diarrhea, or is it same? So this is easy to remember. Remember it this way, that normal stool, and if the stool is a liquid, then it is called as diarrhea. Diarrhea can be normal also, but when there is any sort of infection or inflammation of the intestine, and after that if there is liquid stool, sometimes which contains blood, then it is called as dysentery. So basically, blood mix diarrhea, bloody diarrhea is called as dysentery. Okay, so remember this way, bloody diarrhea is dysentery. Okay, so loose stool with blood is dysentery. Diarrhea can be without infection, usually is without infection, and dysentery is due to infection or inflammation of intestine. Okay, so in Baptisia there is dysentery, there will be some sort of infection in old people and diarrhea in children. Okay, and when it is indicated when, especially when the stool is very offensive. Okay, so stool will be very offensive, and dysentery of old people is also seen in carboveg, podophyllum and sorinum. Okay, now cannot go to sleep, this is also important, a mental symptom. Cannot go to sleep because she cannot get herself together. Head or body feels scattered about the bed, tosses about to get the pieces together. Thought she was three persons, could not keep them covered. Comparison is with petroleum. Okay. Now in this given bold, remember, in whatever position the patient lies, the part rested upon feels sore and bruised. So this is very important line. Remember this. Also remember the comparison. It is compared with two, pyrogen and arnica. What is the difference now? See, in Baptisia, what they are saying, that in whatever position the patient lies, the part rested upon फील सोर एंड ब्रूस्ड, यानी किसी भी पोजीशन में पेशेंट जब भी सोता है तो जो भी पार्ट पे वो सोएगा, जैसे पीठ पर ऐसा लेटा है सीधा, तो पीठ में दर्द होने लगेगा, पीठ ऐसे लगेगा कि सोर एंड ब्रूस्ड फीलिंग होगी। एक साइड सोएगा तो इस तरफ होगा। तो एनी पार्ट, जो भी पार्ट पे, एनी पार्ट ऑन विच द पेशेंट लाइज फील सोर एंड ब्रूस्ड इन Baptisia. Now what happened in pyrogen? In pyrogen, bed feel hard. Okay, in pyrogen the patient feels like bed on which he is lying is very hard, and in arnica it seems too hard, bed seems too hard. Okay, so this is a single word difference between these medicines, but you should remember, because that is how the questions are framed, and we lose our marks. Okay, so remember this. So bed feel hard is pyrogen, bed feel too hard is arnica, and in whatever position patient lies, body feels rested, part on which rested upon feels sore and bruised is Baptisia. Okay, now decubitus in typhoid, in arnica muriatic acid and pyrogen. Remember the relationship, it is similar to arnica, arsenic, bryonia, gelsemium. In the early stages of fever with malaise, nervousness, flushed face, drowsiness and muscular soreness. Okay, so whenever there is fever, along with fever there will be malaise, which is very common, nervousness, flushed face, drowsiness and muscular soreness. If this condition is present, we can compare along Baptisia with arnica, with arsenicum, with bryonia and with gelsemium. Okay, so 4 remedy can be compared with Baptisia in fever, cases of fever. When this is direct question, remember this. When this is direct MCQ. When arsenic has been improperly given or too often repeated in typhoid or typhus, that time Baptisia is useful. After Baptisia, Crutalis, Hemamales, nitric acid and terebinthina act well in hemorrhage of typhoid and typhus. So Baptisia is all related with typhoid. So remember this, typhoid fever, fever में patient will be flushed face, stupor will be there, will slip in while answering in mid of the question, all discharges will be offensive, lymphatic temperaments who have no excitement, inability to focus on anything, to think, indifference, all this and painless sore throat, dysentery of old people, diarrhea of children. Okay, so all these things are baptisia. Okay, so it's easy, nothing much. Yeah, but 4-5 MCQs are directly asked from this. So yeah, that is all about. While indigo, W.L. Thompson has proved this. Leguminosa family, the part uses bark of fresh root. It belongs to class 3. Drug power is 1/6. So quickly ask if anyone is having any doubt. No one? Are you people even listening? Hello? Okay, so did you understand what I didn't got what you were saying, Ajay Kumar? Drunken expression. What her name? Razina. Drunken, like the person, how he will look or how he will behave after he is drunk. That same. Okay. Anything else? No questions from your side? So remember this basic things about baptisia. Okay. So the basic, preliminary information, as we remember of person, so you should remember of the drugs, the common name, the prover, and all this family, and then the important points. So when you think of baptisia, whenever someone asks you, tell me something about baptisia, like 4-5 quick points should come into your mind. Yeah. So 4-5 quick points should come into your mind. That baptisia is offensiveness. Baptisia is typhoid. Okay, number 1, typhoid fever. Then offensiveness, number 2, prostration, number 3. Then what else? Fever. In fever, the condition, how is the tongue of the patient, how he's answering, how he's looking. So this typhoid fever, remember typhoid fever, a person during fever, how he is behaving. And with lymphatic temperament, remember lymphatic temperament. So pura, you can form a drug picture of baptisia. And in whatever position he lies, all the parts seems very sore and bruised. Okay, so this is important. And then the relationship section. Okay, so that is all about baptisia, nothing much. And as I was saying, remember this chart, remember this table. Okay, read it. And remember different constitution, remember different constitutions given, remember different constitution, diathesis and temperament. These 3 charts, this 3 table is given in success. It's really good. Page number 65. Okay, so do read and by heart it, because direct question comes from this. So you should know and never get confused between temperament and constitution. Okay, so yeah, that was all about baptisia today. Now coming to the MCQ part. You can ask question anytime, huh? Okay, so let's start with MCQ, page 77 of success. So question 1 is, okay, let's try this. I'll ask you question and you people try answering it if possible. Let's see. So, and we will differentiate between the remedies. Okay. So, number one question is great apprehension of approaching death. Great apprehension of approaching death. Option A, aconite. B, arsenicum album. C, cannabis indica. And D, podophyllum. Okay. Option A, aconite. B, arsenicum album. C, cannabis indica. And D, podophyllum. Anyone wants to try? Great apprehension of approaching death. Aconite, arsenicum, cannabis indica, podophyllum. This is the correct answer. Okay. More answers? Okay. Aconite, yeah. Arsenicum, okay. More? Anyone else? So see, such things happen. This is how questions are framed, because we are always we think, and we have always read about aconite and arsenicum album having fear of death. But the exact line where we will find in Allen's keynote. So great, all are having something related to death. Fear of death is present in all these three remedies, but the exact line, great apprehension of approaching death. This is given where? This is given in Allen's keynote under cannabis indica. Okay. So in cannabis indica, you can see on page number 78 in Allen's keynote. No, sorry, not. Yeah. In cannabis indica, you can see great apprehension of approaching death. Okay, now how to differentiate? Okay, all four options. Let's rule out. So this exact line is given in cannabis indica. Then what is in aconite? What is in aconite then? In aconite, there is also fear of death, right? Yeah, Ranjit. Right. Cannabis indica is the answer. So in cannabis indica, the line given is great apprehension of approaching death. So what is given in aconite? Let's see. Take out aconite. So in aconite, you can see that there is fear of death, but fear of death during pregnancy. Fear of death during pregnancy is aconite. You can note it down, and hopefully you should do, because it will be really helpful to you all. So in what is all these four remedies are having fear of death in some or other way. How the lines are given in Allen's keynote, that is important, because that is how MCQ will be asked in exam, right? So great apprehension of approaching death is cannabis indica. Okay. Fear of death during pregnancy is aconite. Okay. Then what is arsenicum album? Arsenicum album is in arsenicum album, his anxious fear of death, thinks it useless to take medicine, and dread of death. Okay, so anxious fear of death and dread of death, these two words are given in arsenicum album. Okay, and podophyllum. In podophyllum, where it is, in podophyllum, he imagines he is going to die or be very ill. Okay, so this is the difference. Okay, four remedies, four medicines are given. In aconite, there is fear of death during pregnancy. In cannabis indica, apprehension of approaching, right now, yeah, great apprehension of approaching death. Yes. In podophyllum, patient imagines, okay, in podophyllum, patient imagines that he is going to die. Okay. And in arsenicum album, there is anxious fear of death, or there is dread of death. Okay, so this is how you should know the difference between, so you will be able to rule out. Okay, so that was correct answer was cannabis indica. Next is emaciation of affected part. Now this question is important, and see how the questions they ask. Now emaciation of affected parts. Okay. Option A graphitis, B leaden pal, C selenium. Okay. And fourth option given is all of the above. So if anyone want to try, emaciation of affected parts. Emaciation of affected parts, graphitis, ledum, selenium, all of the above. Yes, all of the above, Dr. Ranjit, right? Okay, but can you tell me where it is given? Under which remedy we can find this line? Where we can find this line in Allen's keynote? Dr. Ranjit. So answer to this question is all of the above. All three medicines like graphitis, ledum pal and selenium, all three have this emaciation of affected. Yeah, okay, no problem. All three have this emaciation of affected part. So in selenium, the line is given directly, emaciation of affected part. So by reading this selenium only, if you have read selenium properly and if you remember, yeah, line was there in selenium, emaciation of affected part. So don't be in hurry. You should also know that in ledum pal, same line is given. In ledum pal, yeah. In ledum pal also same line is given. Selenium direct line is given, emaciation of affected part. But it also in ledum pal, this line, same line is given, emaciation of affected part, and in bracket graphitis is written. Okay. So ledum pal, in bracket graphitis and selenium. So all these three medicines are having emaciation of affected part. So that is how the questions are framed. This is the way they ask you question. Okay. The questions are very confusing, although it seems very easy, but it is not. There is always some sort of twist given in the question. So that is all. So remember, emaciation of affected part is graphitis, ledum and selenium, three of them. Okay. Then mental labor very difficult, reading and writing fatigue, cannot bear to think. Options silesia, natrum carb, conium and sorinum. Okay, tell me, anyone know the answer? Mental labor very difficult, reading and writing fatigue, cannot bear to think. Okay, more? So this exact line is given on page number 265 under silesia. Okay, 265, yeah. Mental labor very difficult, reading and writing fatigue, cannot bear to think. This line is given in silesia. Okay, so answer is silesia. Okay, but what is given in natrum carb? Let's see. In natrum carb, something related to this mental labor must be given. That's why they have included it into the option, right? So in natrum carb, there is inability to think or to perform any mental labor. Okay. So remember, while selecting the option, they select such options which have somewhat similarity to the question given. Like here they are asking about mental labor. So something must be there related to mental labor in silesia, natrum carb, conium and sorinum, all the four. Okay, so that you can get confused, right? That is the aim of paper setter. So in silesia this line is given. In natrum carb, line is inability to think or to perform any mental labor, right? What is in Konayam? Konayam is 106. Yeah, in Konayam, patient memory is weak, unable to sustain any mental effort. Okay, because my patient's memory is weak, he is unable to sustain any mental effort in Konayam. Okay, so someone has answered it. Konayam. In Konayam, yes, mental labor related to mental labor is given, but that is memory weak, unable to sustain any mental effort. Okay, this exact line is not given in Konayam. So yeah, and next is, which medicine follows well capsicum in intermittent fever? Tell me which medicine follows well capsicum in intermittent fever. Option A, Sina. Option B, Ipecac. C, Natrambu. And D, Malaria officinalis. Which medicine follows well capsicum? Follows well capsicum, but आगे है in intermittent fever. इंटरमीडिएट फीवर में कौन सी रेमेडी कैप्सिकम को फॉलो करती है? ट्रम्योर. ओके, नो. Right, Ajay, right answer. Sina is the answer for this question. Okay, so that is why you should remember relationship of each and every remedy. और जहाँ पे and wherever specifically some relation has been given or it has been given in bold letter, remember that very well. Okay, next is ulcers with unhealthy offensive discharge. All are indicated except. So all are indicated except ulcers with unhealthy offensive discharge. All are indicated except option A, gelsemium, carbolic acid, sulfur or rustox. Tell me, किसी को पता है? Ulcers with unhealthy and offensive discharge, all are indicated. All are indicated except. Which is not indicated? That means not indicated is gelsemium, carbolic acid, sulfur or rustox. So which is not indicated for that? Okay. Right. Okay. So for to answer which is not indicated, right. Rustox is the answer. So, but is this line given under rustox? Answer is rustox, right? But is this exact line is given under rustox in Allen's Keynote? Line कहाँ लिखी गई है ये exact line? Is it under rustox? No. Where we can find this exact line? Answer is rustox, but the line is not given. You can check, line is not given under rustox. The line has been given under carbolic acid. Okay, you can see it like in the relationship section of carbolic acid. It is written that ulcers with unhealthy and offensive discharge, their medicines are under carbolic acid. It is given, so yes, carbolic acid, yes, gelsemium, merc and sulfur. Okay, so these are the remedies. So you can see the importance of this relationship section. Read it very carefully. यहाँ से बहुत से questions आते हैं. Okay, अब इसका आंसर, now this answer I am expecting from each and every one of you. Tell me, child is ill-natured, irritable, cross and despondent, violent, inhuman, would like to do something cruel. Option A, mercurius. B, syphilinum. C, abrotanum. D, mesarium. Correct answer. Tell me. More. So as we read that day, answer is abrotenum. Correct. So thank God you all people are attentive, and we are not just wasting our time. So yeah, child is ill-natured, irritable, cross and despondent, would like to do something cruel is abrotenum. Okay. Now next is sweet sweat to attract the flies. Sweat. Sweat is sweet that attracts flies. The answer: phosphorus, caladium, mercurius or thuja. Right. Good. Answer is caladium. Okay, caladium has sweet sweat. Okay, sweet sweat which attract flies is caladium. So now how is the sweat of phosphorus? How is the sweat of mercurius? Right. Good. Caladium is the answer. Right. So can anyone tell me how is the sweat of phosphorus? Hmm? What is the speciality of, you should remember, perspiration is in every remedy. Okay, everyone perspire, but only, yeah, good, very good. So everyone, in each and every remedy we will read about sweat and perspiration, so we should not be remembering each and every, we should, but questions will be asked only from those which has something peculiar in them, right? So remember that only, like sweet sweat attract flies. Okay, the sweet sweat is caladium. Then phosphorus. The remedy is phosphorus, but the perspiration, the odor of perspiration in phosphorus is like sulfur. Okay, like the original element sulfur. So in phosphorus, the smell of perspiration is the odor of sulfur. Okay, perspiration has the odor of sulfur is phosphorus. So remember this, phosphorus sweat. Next sweat is, let's see, of mercurius. In what happened in mercurius is 185. In mercurius, the speciality of sweat is that the sufferings of the patient is increased by perspiration. Okay, so perspiration is profuse but does not relieve, it increases the suffering. Okay, so mercurius, the suffering increases. Okay, and opposite to it is perspiration, profuse perspiration which relieves. ओके, पसीना बहुत आता है लेकिन पसीना आने के बाद भी जो तकलीफ है वो वैसे ही रहती है, दिस इज मर्क्यूरियस. बट पसीना आता है और उसके बाद आराम हो जाता है, अच्छा लगता है, दिस इज नेट्रम्यूल सोराइनम. ओके, दिस इज या नेट्रम्यूल एंड सोराइनम. And so perspiration relief is natrum sorinum, and perspiration does not relieve is mercurius. Okay, then after that next is thuja. Yeah, thuja, because it's thuja's this sweat is very peculiar. Remember, how is the sweat of thuja? In thuja, patient has, yeah, right, good. So but that is also this now, who is it, Suranjit? Yeah, but perspiration smell like honey in thuja, that is true, good. But remember, perspiration smelling like honey is only on genitals. Okay, not whole body, remember this. Perspiration smelling like honey on genitals. Okay, and what happens, yeah, right, on whole body what happens, perspiration is present on uncovered part. Okay, the part which is usually what happens when we are dressed, so we usually perspire in underarms. Okay, so the body part, the which is covered with dress, okay, with clothes, usually that perspire. But in thuja what happens, which is not covered, uncovered part, like this arms, forearm, hands, or all these parts which is not covered, they perspire. So perspiration is present in uncovered part. This is one speciality. Okay, but exception is also there. ठीक है, except head. So there is no sweat on head in thuja. Okay, so thuja will not perspire on head. Rest all the uncovered part will be sweating. Okay, so two speciality of thuja sweat. Okay, and this is reverse of Silesia. Okay, in Silesia what will happen, there will be more profuse sweat on head. Okay, and it will be on covered part. Okay, and perspiration will be more when he sleep and stop when he wake. So perspiration is more during sleeping time. नींद में perspiration ज़्यादा आएगा, जब उठ जाएगा पेशेंट तो ड्राई पसीना नहीं आएगा. अपोजिट ऑफ किसका अपोजिट होता है, ठीक है, सैम्बुल का अपोजिट होता है. सैम्बुल में क्या होगा कि perspiration is when patient is awake and it will stop as soon as patient sleeps. Okay, so these two are something which you should remember. Okay, so in thuja the perspiration characteristics are very important, and it is reverse of Silesia, reverse of Sambucus. Okay, I told you Sambule, sorry, it is Sambucus. Okay, so in and perspiration smell like honey on genital. Okay, so this 4-5 characteristic of thuja sweat should be remembered. Okay. Okay, next is soric constitution, pale, weak, timid, easily tired when walking. Option A, calcarea carp, B, sorinum, C, baryta carp, and D, mac carp. This is the remedy. Soric constitution, pale, weak, timid, easily tired when walking. Calcarea carp, sorinum, baryta carp, or mac carp. This is the remedy. No, it is calcarea carp. Yeah, Ajay is right. Calcarea carp is the answer. So soric constitution, all four is having soric constitution only. Sorinum is soric, baryta, mac carp, all are soric. But this exact line, easily tired when walking. Always remember easily tired. No, it is calcarea carp. Calcarea carp is the right answer. Okay. Now for impotence, spasm, cold sweat from excessive smoking. Cold sweat from excessive smoking, tobacco, gelsemium, ignatia, or lycopodium. Which is the answer? Tell me. For impotence, spasm, cold sweat from excessive smoking. Cold sweat from excessive smoking is present in options tobacco, gelsemium, ignatia, lycopodium. Okay, more. Read, listen complete question. For impotence, right, Dr. Ranjit is right. For impotence, spasm, cold sweat from excessive smoking. Cold sweat from excessive smoking is lycopodium. Okay, so correct answer is lycopodium. Now remember, take this tobacco. In tobacco, the relationship section is very important. So many things are given in tobacco relationship section. Yeah, lyco is the right answer, correct answer. Okay. So the answer for this question you will not find in lycopodium. Okay, you can read this exact line under tobacco. When you read tobacco in the relationship section, you can see lycopodium is for impotence, spasm, cold sweat from excessive smoking. Okay, so how different remedies are related with how different remedies has reaction to smoking or tobacco, that is given. Like arsenicum is used for so in ipecac is used for excessive nausea and vomiting. Okay, for abuse of tobacco, for arsenic for bad effect of tobacco chewing, NOx for the gastric symptom next morning after smoking, phosphorus palpitation, tobacco heart and sexual weakness, ignitia for annoying hiccup from tobacco chewing, clematis and plantigo for tobacco toothache. Okay, lyco for impotence, gelsemium for occipital headache and vertigo. Okay, so this is a relationship section which is very important in tobacco. So read it and try to remember. Okay. Okay, next is sensation of coldness in abdomen. Yesterday we saw sensation in on vertex or on head. The question is sensation of coldness in abdomen. In abdomen, options are ambrogracia, tabacum, colchicum or viratum album. Which is the correct answer? Coldness in abdomen. Ambrogracia, tabacum, colchicum, viratum album. We will try. So sensation of coldness in abdomen is ambrogracia. Okay, ambrogracia is the correct answer. Okay, next is this important sense headache. Headache is intense, as if thousands of needles were pricking in the brain. Always read very carefully what they are using. Thousands of little needles they are saying. Thousands of needles were pricking in the brain. Okay. Option in argentum nitricum, tarantula, petroleum, natrum muriaticum. And many of us will answer it as natrum muriaticum, but that is not the answer. The question is thousands of needles, not hammer. So thousand of needles is tarantula. Thousand of hammer is natrum muriaticum. Argentum nitricum, no. Answer is tarantula. Correct answer is tarantula. Okay. So tomorrow we'll do the different types of headache in different remedies. That one part we will cover, which is very important. We should remember how to differentiate between different remedies. We'll start from this question only, headache. So how is the headache of argentum, how is of tarantula, petroleum, natrum and many other remedies are given. So I'll give you a list and also the indication how is the headache in different remedies. So we'll do that tomorrow. Okay. And I think let's call it a day. That was all for today. Tomorrow we will discuss about different types of headache in different medicines. Okay, so be there on time and you can ask why is it. I'll check. Okay, I'll check. So yeah, do join on time and ask your friends as well to join. So it is better together with many people. We can get different ideas from different peoples and we can all improve. So your feedbacks are always welcome. Do let me know how was the session and what all changes you would like to have, what all topics you would like to have. Okay, so thank you so much for joining. That was all for today. See you tomorrow. Take care. Bye. Good night.